Democrats fuming after Republicans passed a bill to protect women's sports. It would restrict biological males from competing on female teams. The GOP lawmakers say that it's all about fairness.
If you want to be a transgender, that's your right. But what about my rights? What about the rights of my daughters?
Not a single Democrat today wants to support women in women's sports.
We want to protect biological girls being able to fairly compete against other biological girls in the sports they love.
There's a reason why Title IX was created. There's a reason why there's men and women's sports. It's about fairness.
So 0 Democrats voted for the bill, and the top one claims that the whole thing is just a made-up issue.
And the extreme MAGA Republicans are trying to sensationalize an issue that doesn't really exist. If this is about elite sports competition, let's allow the relevant organizations involved in elite sports competition to do what they do.
Okay. Lawrence, is that a solution? Should it just be left to the elite sports organization? So organization by organization, they should decide what should happen here?
Absolutely not. I typically stay out of these type of issues because I say, just let people be. Do what you want to do. But that's not protecting the women right here. I don't think people should give an inch on this issue. And honestly, I think they're taking the kindness of Americans as weaknesses. A lot of Americans believe, let people do what they want with their lives. Let people go with bathrooms they want to do. And then we get to here and we know this is wrong. I mean, just from a side, we have a young lady that was just hurt this week because the ball was spiked at her head. There's going to be a lot of women that are injured in these sports because
Let's
it's just
listen to her. That's
go
Peyton
ahead.
McNabb. Let's watch that.
Allowing biological males to compete against biological females is dangerous. I may be the first to come before you with an injury, but if this doesn't pass, I won't be the last.
This is crazy. Where are all the women? I mean, this is honestly is not a man issue. You don't see a bunch of biological women trying to compete in men's sports because they know they're going to lose. But we do see a lot of men that got their asses handed to them against other men, and they decide they're going to be the bullies against the women. I can't, the left talks about toxic masculinity. I can't see anything more toxic than that.
Geraldo, what do you think?
Well, I think that it should be simple. Without being specific, it can be simple. It's about common sense, right? It's about how you pick a jury. Prudent, reasonable, normal, ordinary. Is this logical? Is this right? And I think that in this case, the Republicans have the upper hand because the Democrats are digging in their heels and creating a situation where this becomes a paramount issue, and it overwhelms so many. It's so emotional. I mean, people are so frightened to get involved. It's not just about, everybody's afraid to be called a racist, but the worse than racism in a way is that you're anti-trans. It's ridiculous.
Exactly. So that's now the offense of this, of these several months, right? We roll through these offenses that people get, sort of labeled with and pigeonholed with. I don't know what the next one's going to be, Janine, but, this is clearly the one that is front and center right now. And, it's causing injuries and people to say, well, what about my rights?
Well, the issue before us right now is not new. I mean, this started with the bathrooms, 5 years ago? When they wanted the guys, if they identified as a woman, to go into young girls' bathrooms. This is about, to me, and I have fought for women's rights from starting the first domestic violence bureau in the nation and on, fighting for rape victims, prosecuting those cases. And then all of a sudden there's a hashtag Me Too. And you're like, gee, I'm glad you caught up. But then they stop speaking. So it's more about political ideology than it is about reality, truth, and what's fair. But what I see going along this spectrum, and I was looking up whether or not Hakeem Jeffries has any daughters. That's what I was on my phone a minute ago. But what I see is that women are being condemned. They are being disavowed. They are being erased. And now there are women that are being used as crash dummies, female crash dummies. And I just see it as almost like the elimination and the subjugation of women in our society. I don't want a man who doesn't have breasts to tell me what sports bra I should wear. Okay? To me, that's disingenuous.
Do you want a man to tell you which sports bra you should wear, Greg?
No, I like to go out natural. I burned my bra in the 70s.
It was big then.
It certainly was.
It's everything that's old is new again, right? But it does feel like, when we were growing up, it was like, oh, so exciting. Girls had many more sports to choose from.
not anymore.
When I was a kid, it was like softball or tennis, and so that expanded. But now it's like each group sort of pushes the group. You're no big deal anymore. We're now on to this group.
This is a very funny day in the sense that while this is going on, Mayor Pete is proposing $20 million for female crash test dummies. And why? Why? Because female bodies are different. Mm-hmm. He just undermined their entire argument. He just said, you know what, the average weight, the muscle mass, vastly different. So there is a legitimate reason for having different crash test dummies. But they can't how can you not see this? It's like he just completely crushed their idea. And by the way, this also proves another thing, how binaryism is biological. So much so that if you come out with a sensible point of view, as Geraldo was saying, that the Republicans just sound like sensible, the entire other side goes against it. They don't even have an argument. They have to say it doesn't exist. And there's this weird binary mentality that, like, okay, if the Republicans say only women have uteruses, then we have to say, no, men can have uteruses. Okay, so now you've just gone completely into wacko land, but it's because we have to have one or the other. And what did they do? They flipped Title IX on its head. Yeah, Title IX was supposed to defend women, and the Democrats can't even defend women anymore.
And they won't.
They won't. And they are stuck in this prison of this prison, and they can't get out of it, and they'd rather just throw women under the bus.
That's right.
They're number one voters, too.
Yeah. And Biden has promised...
They're passé. They're not in right now.
Yeah, Biden has promised to veto any bill that bans males from participating in female sports.
What's amazing about this topic, too, when you talk to people privately who are liberals and Democrats, they agree with you.
100%.
They don't agree with you when they're on TV. Maybe 100% of men are like, this is nuts, but they don't say it because they don't want to get called names.
Exactly right.
All right, coming up next, the Pentagon drops yet another mysterious UFO video. That's coming up on The Fastest.
Hi, everyone. I'm Brian Kilmeade. I want you to do me a favor. I want you to click to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page. This is the only way that I know for sure that you're not going to miss any great commentary, any great news bites, any great interviews coming your way on Fox. You can get it all here on YouTube. So subscribe right now.